HeForShe, Justin Trudeau. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for that warm welcome and the shout-outs. Thank you, President Niinisto, for your leadership on this and your challenging of all us other leaders to follow Finland's leadership on this. Shinzo Abe, who had to leave, he and I sit around the G7 table challenging each other on who can be better feminists, and we both know we have an awful long way to go, but it was great to see him here. Phumzile, thank you for all your leadership. It was an extraordinary pleasure to be able to be at a UN Women event with you in the spring, and I'm so pleased to continue to be able to support everything you're doing. Emma Watson, thank you for the pin. and mostly thank you for your challenging activism as a young person who knows that she needs to shape the world and demand us all to be better. And your voice connects in ways us politicians simply can't. Thank you for all you do and everyone who's involved here tonight. There are few causes that I am as passionate about as the one that is at the core of the HeForShe movement, the need for gender equality and the need to have everyone, men and women alike, doing their part to help get us there. So I'm especially excited tonight to commit to being a HeForShe champion for youth engagement. As part of that commitment, I look forward to deepening Canada's cooperation with UN Women, especially as regards the implementation of UN Women's gender and youth strategy. When Phumzile first asked me to serve in this capacity, I had two thoughts. First, that I welcomed the challenge to do more to advance the cause of gender equality. And second, that the word champion, when I think about myself, feels a little strange. You see, I don't think that anyone should find it remarkable that someone like me, a son, a brother, a husband, a father, a political leader, should be interested in advancing opportunities for women and girls. I say that because I think that everybody should be in the business of improving opportunities for women and girls. And young people are already more likely to know how important this is, so it's time that the rest of us started to follow their lead. We need women and girls to succeed because that's how we build stronger, more resilient communities. It's how we grow a stronger economy. Encouraging the full participation of women and girls in public life and in the business world leads to better decision-making all around. La solidarité, la croissance économique et les politiques bien ciblées n'aident pas juste la moitié de la population, c'est toute la société qui gagne quand les femmes et les filles ont plus d'opportunités pour prendre les devants et être des leaders. When women and girls get ahead, everyone does better in society. Now, what many of you may not know is not only am I the Prime Minister of the country, I also, being Prime Minister, got to give myself a task that I think is equally important as being Prime Minister of Canada, and that's being the Youth Minister of Canada. To be honest, when I got into office, there wasn't really much of a youth minister portfolio, so I had to fix that and create it because everything we do needs to focus on young people, needs to focus on building a better world for the long term and not just in time for the next election cycle. And being focused on young people and their dreams of a better world keeps us all in government thinking about what really matters when we go through our businesses. I took on this additional responsibility because the challenges young people have faced are something that have been constant throughout my life. I started as a teacher, I became an activist, I got into being a politician, and now the challenges of young people become acutely present as I think about being a dad. When I was younger, I'd talk about young people by projecting back to when I was young. Now that I'm a dad, I look at my kids and I project forward to the world that I want to help create for them. HeForShe understands that women's issues are society's issues. I'd say the same thing for the issues facing young people. We often, in youth events, try to tell young people and inspire them and get them to step up and take their place in the world by telling them that they are our leaders of tomorrow. Well, I don't want anyone in this room or elsewhere to ever tell young people that they're leaders of tomorrow. Because we need young people to understand that they are leaders today. Everything you do in your community, in your job, in your school, matters today, and you help shape the world around you. And if you want to acknowledge them, if you want to recognize their vision and commitment, we've got two great examples, actually three great examples of vision and commitment in the young people that have joined me here today. The first is Mary Ellen Gibson, who's a student at the University of Saskatchewan. Where are you, Mary Ellen? I think she's way in the back there. She's waving. She's been a strong advocate for young women on the issues of safety and sexual health. She's contributed to the important work of organizations like the Canadian Network of Women's Shelters and Transitional Houses in their efforts to end violence against women. And Alexander Virch, are you there, Alexander? Yeah, also in the back. Is a first-year student at Carleton University in Ottawa and was a founding member of the Man Up initiative, a project that recognizes the need for greater change in the way that men treat the women in their lives. And in a few moments, we'll have the pleasure to hear from a young woman, Anya Forrestel, who's a recipient of a HeForShe Impact Scholarship. Anya is pursuing a degree at the University of Waterloo in the field of physics and dreams of becoming an astronaut. Like thousands of young people all around the world, these young people are leaders in their schools, in their communities, in everything they do. And it's their engagement, like thousands of other young people around the world, towards equality that'll shape the better world that my children will grow up in. Obviously, for my daughter, Ella Grace, I hope that she has every opportunity to succeed just as much as my sons. But I also want my sons, Xavier and Hadrian, to be active and engaged in understanding that they have to work and fight so that their sister, Ella Grace, has all the opportunities as well. It's not just about women's issues, it's about everyone's issues, and teaching that to all of our kids is really, really important. Because we know that if kids grow up in a more equal world, it is a better world, more open, more prosperous, and more peaceful. I want to thank UN Women, Emma Watson, and all those involved in the HeForShe for continuing to fight this most important of fights. And regardless of how often I try to raise the bar and push things, I want you to know I am expecting all of you to point out where I fall short, where we all fall short. We need you to continue challenging your friends, your neighbors, your political leaders every day to do more and to do better, because we can and because we must. So on behalf of all the men and women and boys and girls of Canada, and indeed on behalf of all people in all nations, I thank all of you for your incredibly hard work. We are all so much the better for it. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.